With the new Barbie movie coming out, I've seen lots of crafters making Barbie projects with their Cricut, and I thought that looked like so much fun. So in today's video, I'm crafting with these blanks to make Barbie themed projects. I found some of these blanks at Hobby Lobby and some on Amazon. These projects would be fun to make for birthday parties, bachelorette parties, girls' night, or to use to go to the movie. I'm starting off with these pink can coolers. These are the perfect blanks for your Cricut. I will be adding heat transfer vinyl to them, and you can really personalize them however you like. I'm curious, are you guys going to the Barbie movie? I think it looks so funny. I am going with my sisters and my mom next weekend. I have a guide set up already in Cricut Design Space. The can cooler is 4 inches by 4 inches, and I just go to shapes, and at the top I switch it to a guide. I'll upload my SVG that I'm using. I thought this was so perfect for a can cooler. It's really cute. I found it on Etsy. I'll leave the link down in my description box. I am just going to lower it, and this is how I size it. I just place it inside of my guide and kind of go from there. I think that looks good. I did want to personalize it a little bit more. For this video, I have found a couple different Barbie fonts. I wanted to find one that looks similar to this, so I just Googled Barbie font and I found one. Usually I like to get fonts from more like trusted websites like Creative Fabrica, defont.com. I don't typically just Google it because I get worried about getting a virus on my computer, but for this one I did just Google it. I'm gonna go to text, and I think it was called Barbie. Yep. You can see when you type it in, it looks exactly the same, so I'm not sure where the font exactly came from, but I'm going to use it. So what I'm gonna do is actually just type in my name, and I'm gonna put this on the other side of the can cooler. I also think I am going to move the K inward, so I'm gonna go up to advanced and ungroup to letters. Then I'm just gonna grab the K and use my keyboard and move it over and up a little bit. It will have those cut lines there, so I am actually going to unite this whole thing together. I just highlighted over all the letters. You can see it's all highlighted in the layers panel. I'll come down to combine and select unite. I can't decide if I like the K connected or separate. Which one do you guys like better? My can cooler is pink, so I am gonna make both of these white. Now I'll hit make it. I'm going to be using HTV for these, so I am going to mirror my design. I'll select Everyday Iron-On for my cut setting. I place the liner or the shiny side of the HTV down on the mat, and the Cricut will cut it out. Then I just go in and weed out all the excess vinyl. Just a random thought, have you guys been seeing Barbie stuff everywhere on the internet? Their marketing for the movie is just so good. I'm using my Easy Press Mini for this project. I set it to the medium setting. There was a lot of fuzz on this, so I took my lint roller to clean it off. I just feel like it can help with the vinyl adhering a little bit better. Then I line up my design on one side. Didn't want to stick down very well, so I grabbed my heat resistant tape and taped it down, and honestly that didn't really do much, but then I went ahead and ran my Easy Press Mini over my vinyl. I completely forgot to preheat my koozie before, but that's okay. Also, I'm not using a Teflon sheet because the carrier sheet is protecting it, but you do want to make sure you're only going over the carrier sheet part. The HTV adhered really well. I'm using Caesar HTV. Then I turn it around and add my name the exact same way. These would be really fun to make for like a party or to give as a gift. Also, they would make really great party favors. You can do so many different things with these, and I love how you can personalize it with different names. Here's how it turned out. It is so cute, and it's also just very quick and easy to put together. Next, I am going to add HTV to this little cosmetic bag that I found at Hobby Lobby. You can see on the tag, this bag is made out of nylon. I have my guide already set up in Cricut Design Space. It's 5 inches by 5 inches. I'm going to grab a font. The font that I'm using is called Absolute Blonde. I downloaded this from Creative Fabrica. It is $15 for the font, which is pretty high, but if you do want to use this font, you can download it for free. This signs you up for their membership. You can get 10 downloads for free, so you can do that, and if you decide you don't want the membership, then you can just cancel it. But this font is so perfect for the Barbie font. I will show you here in a second. So if I type in Barbie, this looks so similar to the Barbie font from the movie. The Barbie font in the movie has an offset shadow behind it. So what I'm going to do for this bag is I'm going to personalize it with my name, but I'm going to do the offset. So I'm going to delete this and type in my name. I moved my font over here. I'm going to click on offset. I think that looks pretty good. I'll hit apply. Then with my offset layer selected, I will come down to contour. I want to get rid of this little piece here, and there's one other one right there. Now I am going to change the color. I'll make the black pink, and I will make the text white. This looks so much like that Barbie font, so I love it. I'm going to highlight over both of these, and I am just going to make this fit inside my guide. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. I'll hit make it. I'm using HTV again, so I will mirror my design. Then I'll select Everyday Iron On. I place the shiny side down again, and the Cricut will cut out the white, then the pink HTV. I decided to go with this color HTV, and I completely forgot that I do have a neon pink color, so that was a missed opportunity there, but this one kind of matches the darker color of the zipper. Here, I'm just weeding out my vinyl. Set my Easy Press Mini to the low setting. I preheat my bag. I make sure to put a Teflon sheet on top. With this type of material, if you put direct heat on it, it could damage the bag. Place my offset vinyl down first, then I run my Easy Press Mini over it. I make sure to only have it over the carrier sheet once again, and I do this for maybe about 15 seconds. Then I remove the carrier sheet. I add my name directly on top of that offset. Then I run my Easy Press Mini over this for about 15 to 20 seconds. Once it's done, I remove the carrier sheet. I love how this turned out. The offset is just so cool. I love how much it looks like the Barbie offset, and these would be fun for party favors too. You can put some cute little things inside. I found this white skitty tumbler at Hobby Lobby and thought it would be really fun to personalize with some Barbie images. I clean it off with rubbing alcohol. When I'm done with that, I will show you in Cricut how I put all the images together. For my tumbler, I measured around the tumbler and then I measured how tall it was. So I'll grab a shape and then I will just put those dimensions in here. Then I'll make this a guide. Now I'm going to upload the images that I will be using. It's only showing one of these, but I uploaded a whole bunch from the same file. So if I click view all, it's all there. So I'll just hit add a canvas for some of these. I'm not using every single one of them. Now I'll hit view. I'm gonna make all of them a lot smaller. Just gonna move my guide out of the way. Now I'm just going to move the images around how I want it to look on my tumbler. Okay, I kind of have them arranged how I want them. I am just going to rotate these just a little bit. I think that looks great. I love all the fun colors in this, but if you click up, I'm just going to click on a random layer and look at all the different colors. You can see how there's 1, 2, 3, like 4 different color pinks. I want to get those down to just 2 colors. I want 1 hot pink and 1 light pink. Also, there's some yellows and browns in here. So the easiest way for me to do this is go over to my color sync, and this makes it so easy. But as you can see, there's even 2 different color blacks for some reason. So I'm gonna slide this up here, and now we have all black. We only have 1 shade of blue. This green is in the roller skate, and I think I'm just gonna make it that brown color. So I'm gonna drag it in with the brown. I want all the yellows to be the same, so I have kind of a goldish color here. I'm just gonna slide that down to this yellow. I'm also gonna drag this yellow down. Looking at this, I don't think I want brown for the roller skate. I just don't really like the color, and I'm pretty sure in the movie it's like neon yellow. So instead of brown, I'm gonna make it yellow. So I'll drag that down to the yellow. I like that better. Now let's look at the pinks. Here's the hot pink. I'm gonna keep that one, and I'm gonna make the rest this lighter pink. So I'm gonna scroll up and slide this pink down. Then I'll slide this one down as well and put it in the light pink. Okay, it's a little confusing, I feel like, when you look at it, but now what I'm going to do is just double check all of my colors. So I have all black, all blue. This color is red in the rainbow. I have all my yellows matching, my hot pink, and then all my light pink and white. I do want to show you an example of how this is going to work when I go to layer it. I'm just going to duplicate the sunglasses for a second, and I might even make it bigger so you can see it better. I'll come up here and hit ungroup. As you can see, there is a lot of different colors. This one's grouped together, so let me undo that. When I go to layer the sunglasses together, there will be 4 different colors, and what I'll do is I'll look in Design Space to make it easier, but I'll just layer the hot pink on top of the black, then the light pink on top of all that, then the white. So this is going to be a lot of layering. Now I'll click Make It. I'm using mainly scrap vinyl for this, which is really nice, but some of my vinyl, like my blue, it goes all the way over, but I actually have a smaller square, and it's only about 4.5 inches by 3. It goes a little over the 3. So I'm just gonna try to move this around so it'll fit inside of my scrap vinyl. Okay, that'll look good. Everything else looked good, so I will hit continue. If you use Snap Matte, that would be great for this project since it has so many colors. Instead of doing vinyl, I think I'm going to do washi tape because some of these pieces are pretty tiny, and this just works every time I use it for those tiny pieces. I follow what color it says it's going to cut out first on the screen, and I have the Cricut cut out each one. Then I go in and weed out all my vinyl. I have a question. Does weeding stress you out, or is it a stress reliever? For me, it kind of depends on the situation. If the vinyl isn't weeding well, then it's extremely stressful. But if it's weeding very well, then I actually do kind of enjoy it. Once I have it weeded, I separate each piece with each corresponding image, and I also pull up the images on my computer as I'm layering. It helps a ton. I'm starting with the easiest one first. I cut out a piece of transfer paper and a piece of parchment paper. I add my transfer paper to the blue vinyl, then I use the parchment paper to help line it up. I have a video showing how to use the parchment paper method, so I can leave that link down in my description box. Next, I move on to the sunglasses. I use my transfer paper and I start at the bottommost layer first, which would be the black, and I just add each color from there. I forgot to weed part of it, so I go in and do that, then I add the other 2 layers. For some reason, I was starting to get annoyed with the parchment paper, so for the rest of these, I pretty much just used the transfer paper and just kind of lined it up that way. For the beach ball, I wanted to try something different. Instead of adding each color to the black piece, I decided to try to add it to all one transfer sheet, and part of it got stuck on the mat that I'm using, so I decided not to do it that way next time. When I had all the colors on the transfer paper, I add it all to the black circle. Then I go in and just follow the same process for the other images. About halfway through this, I was questioning why I decided to do this. It was just taking so long with all the different pieces. It took a while to weed it, then to layer it. I just recently did a video on Tech Wrap's printable vinyl, and I wish I would have done that instead. I'll leave a link for that YouTube video because it's so much easier. I could have printed all of these things without having to layer it. I also totally messed up this rainbow. So I took a few pieces out. I add the bee here, but then I take the two pinks off and redo it. I just do it off camera because it was a lot easier to just kind of look at it that way. This is my last one, and it's also my favorite one. It's rollerblades. I just remember when I was a kid, I had a pair of rollerblades, and I had so much fun with them. I think I was in elementary school. I'm a 90s kid, so it was pretty popular then. Here's how they all look when they're done. It was a lot of work, but it really does look very cool. I add transfer tape to each one, then I just line them up on my tumbler. Also, when I'm posting this video, Cricut just announced their new machine, the Cricut Venture. I'm curious what your guys' thoughts are on it. I'm still undecided if I'm going to purchase it or not. I love doing reviews and testing out products on my YouTube channel. It just is a big investment, so I'm leaning towards buying it. It looks very cool. Cricut does have really great quality machines, but I do know it's not for everyone. Here's how it turned out. I did use permanent vinyl, so I can wash this, but next time I would probably use printable vinyl. I'm curious how that would work. It would definitely be easier, but I just love all the bright colors with this cup. For my next project, I'm going to be adding vinyl to these heart sunglasses. These just gave me all the Barbie vibes, so I thought it would be really fun. I'm going to grab my font for my sunglasses. I'm using Absolute Blonde from Creative Fabrica, the one that I used for the little bags. And all I'm going to do is personalize it with my name and make it super easy. I'm going to make the width 1.5 inches, and it makes it just over 1/2 inch for the height. I have two different sunglasses that I'm putting these on, so I want to cut out 2 Kayla's, but I'm just going to the Make It screen, and I am just going to go over to my project copies, select 2, and hit apply. I'm using this really pretty Tech Wrap holographic vinyl for it. So I am going to select holographic vinyl for my cut setting. Here's the holographic Tech Wrap vinyl. Their vinyl is just so gorgeous and unique. I've had this for a while. I will try to find the link for it, but I don't know for sure what color it is. Once I'm done weighting the vinyl, I spray my sunglasses with rubbing alcohol just to make sure it gets nice and clean before adding my vinyl. I add my vinyl to the sunglasses. I put it kind of in the bottom corner. That way when you put them on, it's not right in front of your eyes. My vinyl didn't want to stick down too well to the sunglasses. It wanted to pick back up with the transfer tape. When that happens, you have to just kind of press it back down, then slowly remove it. Here's how the sunglasses turn out. It's just another quick and easy Cricut project. Also, I just feel like the video doesn't do the holographic vinyl justice. It just looks really pretty in person. For my next project, I'm adding vinyl to hotel keychains. These have been really popular lately, and I've been wanting to make these for so long, so I'm excited to finally do that. Didn't show the design space portion because I'm doing the same font. I just did 2 inches for the width. I add my transfer tape to the weeded vinyl, then I just line it up on my keychain. Another super quick project. I love the color pink. It is just perfect for the Barbie theme. For my last project, I'll be personalizing this trucker hat using sublimation. I am going to grab my sublimation image, pulls it in really large, so I'm just going to make it smaller. I just love this image. It is so fun. I found it on Etsy. For my hat, I'm going to make it 2 inches, which is pretty small, so I'm hoping that'll look okay on the hat. Now I'll click Make It. I'm not going to mirror my design because I already have that set up in my cut settings. I'll hit Send to Printer. I am using my sublimation printer, so I have that selected. I don't want the bleed on because it'll add a fuzzy border around it, and I'm not using my Cricut at all for this. Then I will select my Use System dialog. I have my preset set to my last used settings. Here's what I always have it set at. Then I'll hit print. My Epson Echo Tank printed my image, and I forgot to push the film button, but I also cut around it with scissors. First, I use my lint roller to clean off my hat. After that, I place my pressing form in the hat, and you can see I lift up all the pieces of the hat. Then I snap it together so it's nice and tight. I preheat my hat for about 5 seconds. Then I add my sublimation image. I add Cricut's strong grip tape on it, and I just want to make sure it stays in place. After that, I place my butcher paper on top, then run my hat press over that. I just use Cricut's Heat Guide app to tell me how long to do it. It just automatically goes to the hat press, and I believe it was 90 seconds. I remove the sublimation paper while it's still warm, and you can see sublimation lines around it. If you rip the paper, you don't always have that problem. But a good hack to fix that is just place your butcher paper back on top and grab your heat press, run it over the hat or whatever it is, and it does a really good job of getting rid of those lines. You can see how it does a really great job of getting rid of those lines. If I were to redo this, I probably would do a different design. It's so small, I don't think I even had it centered correctly. But it's a really great blank for anything Barbie themed. You can use HTV or sublimation. And that is it for this video. I had so much fun creating these. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know your favorite. Let me know if you've been crafting for the Barbie movie as well. I had some other ideas that I wanted to add into the video, but I just totally ran out of time. I would really appreciate it if you gave this video a thumbs up and if you subscribed if you are new to my channel.